Hey, folks. Welcome back. So I just want to give some context before I get into this video. So this is a wish list video, and I've done like 150 of these for Conan, and they've all come true. It just took like 3 years. So maybe this wish list will come true. You know, when I have my AARP card. so so all jokes aside, let me give some context here. I've been playing Forex. You see, I play a lot of Star Citizen, but I really like the space exploration sandbox, and this game definitely fills that niche. And I haven't had to pledge, you know, a whole bunch of money. For my cost. This I bought this on the Steam sale, and I have been loving it. And I have 265 hours played. So it is a highly recommend. But there are a couple things that I kind of need to bring into context here. So there's kind of like an early game, a mid game, and a late game, and it's a single player slash multiplayer experience. And your early game is, let's say, combat. First person flying around combat, like zooming around space and exploring, and all of these are basically zones. Think about them in the context of zones. Although when you're flying through them, you don't get the impression that it's zone. It's so well done. You hit these warp gates, and then you basically zone into another zone, but they don't come across the zone. It feels like it's continuous and open space because the the warp gates are far enough in to where you don't feel like you're hitting a boundary. It's done seamless. That's done very nicely. And as they add more expansion, because they're zone based, they can tailor them to to their own experience. Right? Uh oh. Um, they could tailor them to their own experience. So that's kind of like early game. Mid game, you start getting into fleet management and base building. And I know I'm showing you the map overview and not, because if I click on the thing and then I go live view, right? This is my base that I built in space, in the three-dimensional environment that I can fly my spaceship to and land. Why is it not rotating? Oh, it's paused, right? You can see where, like, I had my builder build that, and then I can land there. And if I manage, like, I built that inside of their little 3D base builder sub app that they have. And I had, it was kind of my first one, so I didn't really understand what all the modules do. So it was kind of a little bit of a shit show. It was a painful experience. But now it's kind of taught me all the hard lessons.
Taking serious damage.
Um, even though it's kind of self-explanatory, it's kind of not self-explanatory. But so one of the things, so you come to this guy. There's two ways to get to my main topping point here. There's two ways to get blueprints, right? You come to the faction rep, and you know a guy is a faction rep by the little symbol right here. See how it's got this is the base, and then there's a little symbol right there. I've got my mouse. You can see my mouse moving around. It's got the little king looking guy, like the little chess piece next to it. That means that it is the owner of that faction rep. Okay, so let me pause this again. So let me go look at this. So bear with me. I just woke up from a power nap, man. Work was hectic today. Um, so you can see how you have all these different colors are different factions. So there's like 14 or 15 different factions, and then the ones that have no color, that are completely muted white, are kind of a gray. It's free for consumption, or it's free for. And so, like, I've been doing the mission quest, and then so this is me, and I built the two bases, and I've been learning how to build the bases, and and, kind of learning how to manage my inventory management. And so mid game, you get into the station building and blueprint management. And one of the things that I wish that they would have is when you go to this guy and to say, I want to buy a blueprint. Let me show you this. You say, oh, hey guy, I want to buy your faction's blueprint, right? And then you come in here and you click ships, and you have this guy only sells small. There's no medium ship. I wish there was a medium ship that was similar to the Barracuda, had the same role as the Barracuda, or maybe a Raider, which had like the 4,000 cargo. And so it's a super fast intermediate interdictor cargo ship that held container. I wish that medium had this. But anyway, so you come here and you say, oh, I want to buy the Sith blueprint. Okay, and you click Sith, and then you click buy. The problem is...
Good luck out there.
Well, thank you. The problem is there's no way to use that blueprint unless you build a space station with a wharf. And so it's like all or nothing. There's no intermediate phase to the ship blueprint system. You have to go full ham and spend I don't know, probably 50 million or something, just a crazy amount of money to get to utilize the blueprints in the game. So I would like to see an intermediate version of that, to where, let's say you buy your blueprints because they have pirate stations. And I know I could have summarized this better, but let me show you what a pirate station looks like, because I think there's some context, because a lot of my viewership plays Star Citizen and they won't know what this is. So this symbol right here means it's a pirate station, right? It's got the two little cross sabers. So you can go to the station, and it's just like any other station, except it's owned by a kind of a rogue faction. So my wish list is that I could take my blueprints and then have the pirate stations build my ships. So let's say they charge me a 10% premium, but if I hack them, I can get it at faction cost. So there's like a sub layer even built into that, and that way you start to introduce. You can buy the blueprint, because I've been trying to get blueprints off of some of the ships by doing the EMP bombs, and I haven't had any luck with that. And I don't know how to scavenge ship blueprints. I'm struggling with that. But I know you can buy them, but then once you buy them, there's no way to use them until you do like a full-on wharf build, and you have to buy the wharf blueprint. You can't EMP bomb, because most of the structures that I've gotten, if I go to the build manager right here, and then let me back out and show you this. Your little base. This is almost like a game inside of a game. Let me zoom out. If I go right here, I'm building this base. It was a mission. And if I go click on this, I can either click right here, or I can just right click on the base. And come on, react. There's so much shit. Oh, maybe I had to unpause it. Right? Or I can actually go here. There's like 3 ways to access this. And you go build planner, right? And then that's what it asked me to build for the mission. And you can take, so all these components I was able to get using the EMP bomb, but you cannot do that with the wharf. You have to buy the wharf. So like if I want to do a module, I can just snap it. The background is so opaque, it's washing out the maybe I need to do a different let me go over to my other zoom out right here. Yeah, we'll do this one, build planner. Right, so it's a little easier to see with the space background. So if I want to build something, I just snap it too. You can see right here, and then they'll bring over the resources. Like you can drag it over just for some context, and you can drag it over and snap it too, right? And then it'll tell me, did it snap? I don't know if it snapped. It's being problematic. Sometimes you got to rotate it and hold your mouse just right. There it is. See, now it took. Okay, or did it take? Yeah, I guess it took. Okay, so now when you see, now I gotta say confirm, and it'll tell me like what resources it needs. It'll tell me. Okay, so back to my, this is all has a point. There's the only way to get the shipbuilder. The only way to get the shipbuilder is you got to go to your faction rep. Say I want to buy a blueprint. You got to go to modules. Do they not sell a wharf here? Equipment, turrets, engine, missiles, drones, ship. I guess they don't sell the wharf here. Habitation. Okay, they don't. I guess they don't sell the wharf here. I could be wrong. I probably should go to a different wharf and see if I can get the blueprint off of that. But from what I've seen from like the internet, is you had to buy it. And the problem is you can see where these blueprints are like 12 million, 20 million, and that very rapidly, my whole point of all this is that is very rapidly, like for you, even if you buy the blueprint, let's say I buy a ship blueprint for 1 million, I can't make that until I spend like 50 million in resources and I buy a $20 million builder. And so kind of my wish list is an intermediate phase to where I can get these pirate stations.
Good luck out there.
To build my blueprints, because obviously I'm not going to do economy scale. I'm not going to build a lot of them. You know, I'll still have to transport the goods there in order, because they're not going to have the goods. You know, I'm going to say build, and they're going to be like, oh, we need 500 hull components. So then I'll have to, you know, get a tanker and take the hull components over there and drop them off. So I'll be a part of the economy to get that. Or wait, you know, 30 or 40 minutes for that ship to be created. But it still gives me access to blueprints that I acquire early game, because there's a few rare ships like the Barracuda, which I have right here, and I have been trying to get this blueprint, and I cannot find out how to get this blueprint. Let me live stream this. This is rapidly becoming one of my favorite ships, even though it's super wonky to drive. I like it's kind of like an interdictor with cargo, and I wish that the you know, it's got like the 3 turrets and the 3 hard points. I mean, I'd be okay with 2 hard points and 3 turrets, or some variation of this medium ship that with the construct of cargo that's super fast, like that moderate range of cargo. But you know, you can see where he sits in the cockpit. It's like you got this giant beak that you can't see over. But I like this thing, and I wish that there was a faction variant, because I was playing the pirate faction, which is right here. They're the ones, their acronym is the VIG, right? The Vigro Syndicate. And they have their own ships, and I like all their ships. I mean, it's fantastic. Like if I go to, but you can see though, let me go get off click on this, by ship. You can see where they don't have a medium ship. And I wish that they would introduce with the same art design. You can see that they have this really weird asymmetrical art design, and I like these ships a lot. But I kind of wish I could buy the blueprint and build them at wharfs that was more centrally located to where I've set up, and then you can see how everything's asymmetrical. And I wish they had an interdictor that was kind of had that same role as the Prometheus, because I can't figure out how to get a blueprint for Prometheus. So even if I wanted to put it in production, there's no way to put it in production that I know of. So anyways, that's my wish list, I guess it's a 2-parter, right? It's the ability to use your blueprints. I don't want to say mid-game, kind of more like introduce your blueprint production earlier in the game cycle. And then 2, I guess, would be the medium ship interdictor role for, you know, that fits this theme, asymmetrical, you know, holds like 4,000 or 400 away. Same kind of stats as the Prometheus. The same role as, am I saying that right? Prometheus. Close this out. But yeah, so that kind of an overview and a whole bunch of context, and this has turned in, how long is this video? 14 minutes. All right, folks. I hope you enjoy. All right, thanks for watching.